Vogel, 16th of March, 1944. We have finally isolated an unknown element in the men who were transformed by the cyclotron accident. For now, we have classified it as Exo-Element 1. Kurtz suggested Vogelium. Such an ass-kisser. The current theory is that at sufficient concentrations, Exo-Element 1 triggers the horrific transformations experienced by the men closest to the cyclotron rift. I am currently designing a chamber to withdraw Exo-Element 1 from the occupant. My hope is to somehow purify the men and reverse their necrotic condition. If we can learn to control the necrotization process, I believe it could be weaponized. Imagine an army of unkillable soldiers. Even at this late point in the war, I may have found the key to saving the Reich. Dr. Kurtz, you have memorized the new orders, yes? Did you burn after reading?
Ja, Vogel. And I thought security was tight before the accident. Do you think we can actually accomplish what the Reichstag is asking for?
I would not have suggested it if I did not think it achievable. But let us guard against overconfidence. If we do not deliver, they will find someone who can. And I am not about to give up control of this discovery. All we need is to send through a few volunteers to measure the specific relativistic differential.
Volunteers? Would you take on such a task?
Mind your words, Dr. Kurtz. I would hate for someone to question your commitment.
You are recording this.
What we do now will ensure the Chancellor's dream of a 1,000-year Reich. There must be a record.
Hate to break it to you, but this event isn't an isolated incident. Russian forces are mobilizing in multiple locations across the world, and right now you're weeks, if not months, behind them. I wasn't sure at first, but now I know who they are. A little-known offshoot of the KGB known as the Omega Group. I'd seen mention of their activities a few times over the years, but I'd never given it much credence. Up until recently. What the fuck is exoscience anyway? So right now, I'm looking at the big bad Russian boogeyman that we know as Omega. Then, on the other side, there's you. A CIA-backed department known as Requiem. You know much about them? Or do you just follow orders? I suspect the latter. And I thank you for your service. This isn't me ragging on your operation. God knows me and Weaver got a history and a whole lot in common. But there's always the question, the worry, of divided loyalties. Weaver's half Russian, I'm German. Who are you fighting in World War II? You sure you know who the enemy is now? This is a new landscape. None of this is what any of us are used to. I'm going to do my part while you do yours. I think there's a lot more to this than we know. I want you to know that I've been in your shoes. And you can trust Weaver. He's a good man to have in your corner. A good boss. Back in the 70s, West Germany was a major investor and supplier to Iran. In exchange for oil and gas, we propped up their steel industry and aided their nuclear power program. I was there in '79 when the revolution kicked off. Western intelligence agencies coordinated with the CIA to ensure the Shah's safe extraction to the US. But a lot of diplomats and citizens weren't so lucky. Me included. If it wasn't for Weaver's intervention and willingness to go off the books, I'd be a forgotten memory by now. Trust him. Trust me. For now, I'm going to have to go dark. I'm en route to meet a contact in Southeast Asia. He says he knows exactly what Omega Group is planning.
This is Dr. Alexandra Valentina, Psychotronics Research Lead for Omega Group. It is the 1st of November 1983. I have just given the order to reactivate the Project End Station Particle Accelerator. It is a monumental moment in Soviet history. Some, including myself, might even call it a turning point. 2 officers have volunteered for the task. Their courage and sacrifice represent the pinnacle of Soviet strength. Their names will be echoed through Lubyanka's halls. They will be remembered as heroes. It has all happened so quickly. 4 months of research, testing, planning, and staging. I must thank Chairman Chebrikov, Chairman Andropov, and the rest of the Politburo. Without their support, Operation Undertaker would not have been possible. With the cyclotron's reactivation, not only will we reopen the dimensional gate first discovered by the Germans 40 years ago, but also additional dimensional gates around the globe. With these new gateways opened, we will proceed to Phase 2 and begin the real work. Research of this new dimension and the development of new technologies. These technologies will be critical to our future. It is the turning point that will put us well ahead of our enemies in the West. We were the first. We are the last.
Personal log. Dr. William Peck, November 3rd, 1983. Operation Undertaker has been declared a resounding success. Intel has reported in from around the globe. We have confirmed the existence of multiple dimensional gates. To the surprise of many, including myself, it appears Dr. Valentina's hypothesis was correct. In fact, her results have surpassed expectations. Credit where credit is due. But now we are on to Phase 2, where my expertise comes into play. I've received a report that a live specimen has already been acquired and transported to my facility for analysis. The organisms of this other world are unlike anything I've seen. There is so much we can learn from them. It's not just the creatures. It's these crystalline growths. The Colonel wants weapons? Why stop there? We can do so much more.
We all saw... We thought this mission would be quick. The plan came straight from the top. How hopeful we were taking that first step. Victory was ours. But we spent our bullets long ago, and this place has changed us. I am not the man I was. I am not a man at all. I am just so very tired. Field report. Lost contact with unit, but continue to gather samples until comrades are reacquired. Atmospheric readings match crystal radiation signature, so this stuff is everywhere. Personal contamination remains in safety range. 4 hostile contacts today. I killed 3 with small arms fire. The other I avoided. May attempt engaging after I find my squad. There is much to explore here. Stand by for additional reports. It was supposed to be over quickly, in and out. But I was separated from the rest of my unit before our extraction. By the time I got to the exfil point, the equipment had been smashed to pieces. This radio is the only thing still functional. There may be no way back for me now. But I will do my duty till my last breath. Like most souls here, I have stayed away from others since I arrived. But over the last few months I have seen ever larger groups congregating in the valleys. I hear their chants echo through the eternal night. I have not seen it, but I know it is there. I've seen the destruction left in its wake. Swaths of trees, snapped and broken as though they were twigs. It moves with purpose, but it is not a purpose I understand. I have not seen it. I hope I never do. I met an old comrade this morning. His unit were among the first of our soldiers to pass through to this world. I fear he has lost his mind, as he mostly rambled incoherently, speaking words I could not understand. From the little I could make out, he claims to have been here for many months. This is not possible. He deployed only 1 week before I did. I have heard its guttural roar echo through the forests like a wounded animal screaming out in pain. I fear they are becoming an army.